JBN, we keep you informed. Coming up in the news today, Kingston man guilty of gun and ammo possession freed of murder. Harry Sinclair laid to rest. Third suspect detained for Hellshire robbery. Suspected suicide at Tower Street Adult Correctional Facility. Illegal cash pot operator slapped with $375,000 fine. Student murdered in Negril, and almost 100 dead in road accidents since the start of the year. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items. Kingston man guilty of gun and ammo possession freed of murder. A man has been convicted for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, but freed of murder arising from a series of daylight shooting incidents in East Kingston 6 years ago. The verdicts were handed down in the murder trial of Donald Williams in the Home Circuit Court late last week. Williams is scheduled to be sentenced on April 12 by Justice Georgina Fraser. He is currently serving a prison sentence also for illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, arising from another incident that occurred while he was on bail awaiting his murder trial. Williams was arrested and charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, following a series of incidents that started the shooting death of Trevor Barker along Deanery Road on February 5, 2013. Prosecutors led evidence that an off-duty policeman traveling in a taxi heard loud explosions in the vicinity of where Barker's body was found. The policeman indicated that after the explosions, he saw a man dressed in a green shirt, dark colored pants, and a pair of cloth tied around his head walking with a chrome-looking gun away from the area where Barker's body was found. A police team that caught up with the armed man meters away reportedly came under fire, damaging a service vehicle. It was alleged that during a search of the area, Williams was held after it was pointed out by the off-duty policeman as the man seen leaving the area where Barker was killed and the man who opened fire at the police. Prosecutors says his home was searched and a chrome firearm found in a toilet. They indicated too that the green shirt was seen on a clothesline dripping wet, and a pair of dark-colored pants was reportedly seen on a table. In addition, there was evidence that ballistic tests concluded that spent shells found near Barker's body matched the chrome firearm. Harry Sinclair laid to rest. Hundreds of mourners gathered at the St. George's Anglican Church on Great George Street in Savlamore, Westmoreland, for the funeral service for former politician and Custis Dossel Owen Harry Sinclair. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson was among those in attendance. Sinclair was also a long-standing businessman and founder of the popular haberdashery chain Sinclair's Bargain Center. He passed away on February 22 at the age of 86. In addition to his astute business acumen and his penchant for community service, Sinclair was known across Westmoreland for his generosity. Several individuals, schools, sporting organizations, and health facilities benefited from his kindness. The Governor General Sir Patrick Allen was represented by Reverend Arthur Perrin, Custos Rotolorum for the parish. Sinclair will be interred at a later date. Third suspect detained for Hellshire robbery. A third suspect has been detained for the February multi-million-dollar robbery in Hellshire St. Catherine. The suspect was expected to face an identification parade yesterday. Last month, Constable Ralston Parchment and Constable Renee Pearson were arrested and charged with illegal possession of firearm, assault at common law, and robbery with aggravation after they were pointed out in an identification parade in connection with the same robbery. When the matter was called up in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Friday, a bail hearing was set for April 8 for the two police officers. Parchment is being represented by Peter Champagny, while Pearson is represented by Kimani Brightson. The victims reported on February 21 that they were robbed on the 17th and on the 20th of February of $17 million worth of jewelry, US $5,500 in cash and other items. The two senior citizens who returned to Jamaica 3 years ago after living in the United States for more than 40 years or visiting relatives in Florida in the United States when a neighbor who went to water their plants noticed things amiss and informed them of the break-in at their house. The neighbor also reported the matter to the police. The couple requested not to be identified had planned to travel from Florida to New York, but canceled that trip and returned to Jamaica the day after they were informed about the break-in. They again reported the matter at the Hellshire police station on February 20, but things only got worse. The elderly woman said last month that when she was summoned to her door by men dressed in police uniform on the night of February 20, she thought they had come to take additional statements. However, the couple was allegedly robbed instead. According to the woman, $17 million worth of jewelry, receipts for some of the jewelry, US $5,500, bank statements, among other things, were stolen in the two robberies. Suspected suicide at Tower Street Adult Correctional Facility. The Elliston Road Police are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of an inmate who was found hanging at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in Kingston on Friday. Dead is 38-year-old Donovan Thompson. Reports are that about 6 a.m., correctional officers were doing their routine checks when they stumbled upon the body hanging by a piece of cloth that was tied to its neck. The police were called in and the body removed to the morgue. A post-mortem will be done to determine the cause of death, the police say. Illegal cash pot operator slapped with $375,000 fine. An illegal cash pot operator has been fined $375,000 and given 7 days to pay the sum or face imprisonment. This is an important development in the efforts of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, BGLC, to stamp out and protect Jamaicans from illegal gambling operations, said Noel Baki, Director of Enforcement at the BGLC, Jamaica's gaming regulator. A report to Crime Stop 311 resulted in BGLC's enforcement team undertaking investigations to monitor the activities in the White Lane area of Waterhouse in Kingston. Subsequently, the gaming regulators team conducted a joint operation with the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, which led to an arrest and charge. The matter went before the court and resulted in a $375,000 fine. This is the largest fine applied in recent years. We are pleased that the court recognized the seriousness of charges related to illegal gambling and are applying fines that closely align with our legislation. This is an important deterrent in our fight against illegal gambling, Baki said. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act, the law governing gambling in Jamaica, allows for fines not exceeding $500,000 or imprisonment with or without hard labor for a term not exceeding 12 months. In 2016, the BGLC signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Crime Stop to enable citizens to make anonymous reports of illegal gambling by calling 311. This has been steadily bearing fruit, with a great number of reports being received. The BGLC's enforcement team conducts investigations in response to these reports and works with the police to carry out operations to identify and arrest those engaged in the unlicensed gambling enterprises. Student murdered in Negril. An 18-year-old student who attended the Green Highland High School in Hanover was shot and killed by gunmen in his community in Negril, Westmoreland on Thursday night, March 21. He has been identified as Kean Price, a student of Hermitage District in West End, Negril. According to reports, shortly after 7 p.m. on Thursday, Price and another teen were sitting on a bench in a neighbor's yard in Hermitage District when two men rode up on a motorcycle. One of the men alighted from the motorcycle, brandished a gun, and opened fire, hitting Price multiple times. The wounded teen and his friend managed to run from the yard, but he collapsed a short distance away in a neighboring yard. The gunmen then made their escape on the waiting motorcycle. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, the wounded teen was transported to the Savamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Almost 100 dead in road accidents since the start of the year. Jamaica is on the verge of recording 100 road fatalities since the start of the year. According to figures released by the Road Safety Unit in the Ministry of Transport, 97 persons have died in 87 fatal crashes since January 1. This represents a 47% jump in fatal crashes and a 39% increase in road deaths when compared with the corresponding period last year. At this time last year, a total of 70 persons had died in 59 fatal crashes. The figure reveals, too, that there has been an increase in fatalities across nearly all categories of road users, including a 150% spike in the number of motorcyclists killed on the nation's roadways. Up to yesterday, 30 motorcyclists had died in motor vehicle crashes this year, compared to 12 over the same period last year. The Road Safety Unit says 6 children have died on the roadway so far this year, up from 3 for the corresponding period last year. 21 pedestrians have died in motor vehicle crashes this year, an estimate of 40% when compared to the 15 recorded for the same period last year, the figure shows. St. Catherine leads all parishes with 13 road deaths so far this year, followed by Westmoreland with 12. A total of 389 persons died in motor vehicle crashes last year. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.